Hey everybody, welcome back to Heirloom Permaculture. John here. I'm out by the bees today, and this is a really wide angle lens, so I'm a lot closer than it looks. So if you would, go ahead and slide down there and hit that thumbs up and like this video, just for the fact that I'm hanging out a lot closer to these bees for you today. Well, it's mid to late September, and our resident beekeeper, Brett the Viking, asked us to go ahead and start feeding the bees. So he talked about the different ways to build a bee feeder with 5-gallon buckets, stuff like that. So I looked some of those up, and I thought, well, what can I do, or what do I have rather, that I can build a bee feeder out of, serve the same purpose, and not buy anything, not alter anything to where it can't be used again for its intended purpose. Like anything I had to drill holes in, that would change it. And just solving a problem, having a project, gives you something to do, right? So I took a walk around the homestead looking to see what we have, and I think I come up with a plan for a free bee feeder that serves multiple purposes, which is something we're always trying to accomplish. Everything on the homestead needs to have more than one purpose. So if I create a bee feeder that's only a bee feeder, it only has one purpose. But if I can make this work, it'll still serve multiple purposes. So I don't know if you can see just how active the bees are behind me. Like I said, it's mid to late September. We're having morning temps in the low 50s, afternoon highs right around 80. Plenty of sunshine. We do have a couple days of rain forecasted. It's all right, we could use it. You might be able to hear them watering the garden right now because it's been dry for about a week and a half or 2 weeks. But we need to get some syrup, some sugar water out for these bees, like Brett asked us to do, as we're going into the fall and winter, to make sure they have a good reserve of food. So like I said, just walked around the homestead digging, see what could I find, and actually found 2 of these old stands for, I guess, potted plants. They were here when we moved in, and we've moved them here and moved them there. We've never used them for what I would assume is their intended purpose, but we'll prop a door open on the chicken coop, or we've held up panels to create little temporary fences, set stuff on them, we just all kinds of stuff. Got 2 of these, so I'm gonna use those. And one of our chicken waters that we're not using right now, since in the barn is rainwater, and it comes straight out of the barrel. When we're out in the chicken tractor, we have a 5-gallon bucket on there going down to a bell water. This only gets used, and we have a couple of these fount style waters, so this isn't our only one, but we have this one that's normally used in the little secondary coop whenever we segregate some birds or bring in some new ones, or put a breeding pair, something like that. But anytime we want them in that little coop alone, we'll use one of these waters. So right now they're just sitting around, not doing anything. The current only use is for watering poultry, so finding another use for them is a bonus. So when I set out to find what I was going to be able to use, I had certain objectives in mind. I needed to get it up off the ground a little bit. I wanted to make sure that I could get to set level. I needed it to kind of control how it let the syrup out. Need kind of a little pool available for them, but we don't want just a big bucket full, open top, that type of thing. We need kind of a shallow tray, think of it. And if you've seen any bee feeders, you kind of know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of ways to accomplish that. We don't want them drowning, it basically is the point. Need to kind of make it pretty stable. It's going to be back where the dogs are. Don't want them knocking it over. I don't want the wind blowing it over. I want it easy to access, so that if we need to refill it, things like that. So these 2 stands, the plan is I'm going to stick one in the ground, get it nice and as close to level as possible. We'll take the second one, put it right on top of it. And they have these crossbars at the bottom, which creates a platform for the water fount and now bee feeder to sit on. We'll fill this up with our sugar water, syrup, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's got the cap here, keep it from coming out. We'll fill this tray with some coarse mulch so that there's something in here so we don't have, you know, just an inch or two deep of water. It'll still fill up, but we want some surface area in there, something solid that the bees can land on and walk around on and still access the sugar water but not get in the water and drown. So you could use rocks, you could use, you know, whatever, but we've got tons of good mulch available, and we'll put that in there, and whenever it's time to quit putting this out, we can just dump that back in the garden somewhere in the compost and let it break down and end up being soil. So that'll fill up, sit right in here. We'll make sure everything's good and level so that it doesn't leak over the side and drain itself. Put the cap on, it creates a vacuum, so that as they drink it down or it evaporates, of course, it'll just keep replenishing itself. So I may have to attach the two together. I know it's pretty stable. I don't think anything will happen to it. If it does get knocked over for some reason and we lose it, a little bit of sugar and water, be a little bit of a learning there, but I think we're going to be okay. So let's see if we can't make this work. It's going to be about 50 feet out in front of the hives, and should be easy for them to find. May put a little lemongrass oil on here. That seems to attract the bees really well, and for the first couple days maybe that'll help them find it, but I don't think they're going to have any trouble finding this at all. Well, I've got my stuff gathered up and out here. I've made my simple syrup, the bee food. It's Brett asked me to make 1-to-1 sugar to water, so just put those together on the stove, heated them up, kept stirring until it was completely dissolved. So had that cooling for a while, and it's ready to go. We're going to set up the stand, and I've got my mulch, and we're going to get everything together and then fill it up and turn it loose for them. So we're on a slope, so it may not look level, but I think it's pretty level, and when we fill it up we'll know for sure. You know, it feels kind of weird putting that mulch in there, because when we use those water founts for chickens every morning, every evening, you spend all the time trying to make sure you get everything cleaned out of that tray. And now I'm filling it up with wood chips. Alright, so at the beginning of this video, as I was lingering near the hives, I asked you to go ahead and slide over there and hit the like button. And now I'm sitting out here with about 3 gallons of what basically equates to crack for honeybees. And I'm not too far from the hive, so maybe that deserves a subscribe. So if you go ahead and subscribe, we'd sure appreciate it. So we're trying to bring some good information and education to everybody, and a little bit of entertainment. And we hope you enjoy it. if you want to go ahead and share it with your friends, do that too. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get this filled up in here and turn it loose for them before they find it, and I'm having to fight them just to get it in the feeder. Well, I don't think they'll have any trouble finding that, so we'll keep an eye on it. And since it's out here uncovered, unprotected, anytime it's forecasted to rain, we'll probably just come out here, grab the water, and move it to somewhere with a little bit of cover, and as soon as it stops raining, put it back out just so the rain doesn't wash everything out of there and overflow it and waste it. So I think it'd be all right, but waste not, want not. All right, well, we'll keep y'all updated how this works out. And like I said, it's free, it's multi-purpose, it's basically upcycling. We already had some of the stuff and never found a use for it, so we found a way to use it. So if you like this and all the other stuff we bring you, like I said before, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And thanks for hanging out with us at Heirloom Permaculture, and we'll see you next time. Bye.